Solomon says the battle is not to be strong, is not to the strong. And we know, if anybody knows anything, we know that Arunma has fought some battles. She's fought battles publicly, battles privately. She's fought battles with the powers that be. She's fought battles with a section of the press. But guess what? Despite all that, she's still standing and standing strong. But she would be the first to tell you that in the heat of those battles, one thing was clear to her, and she would always say that to me, and to, I'm sure, so many of us, that it was the Lord who was on her side, who was fighting the battles for her behalf, on her behalf. He says, it is not the wise that eat bread. And we all know Arunma doesn't lack in that sense. But she will tell you, despite the Harvard MBA, despite the first class at Nsukka, from Nsukka, she will tell you that there are many who have similar qualifications who have not been as blessed as she is. And she will be the first to say it's the glory, it's the grace of God that she is where she is. They says that it is not riches, the intelligent are not those who get riches all the time. And whilst we know that Arunma is not stupendously wealthy, as would have been expected in the culture that we come from, in the position that she occupied, we know that she has enough. And more importantly, we know that her riches are not just material. My testimony bears testament to the fact that she's rich. The fact that you are here is testimony of the fact that Arunma is rich. She's rich in friends. She's rich in family. She's rich in relationships. But then, let me just begin to put this to a close. Bring this to a close, because tonight is not the night for a long sermon. We gather today to celebrate Arunma. But she would be the first to say that it is really not her that we celebrate. For if God had not been on her side, no matter how swift she had been, she would not have run this race with distinction. If God had not been on her side, no matter how strong she is, she would not have fought this battle and still be standing. If God had not been on her side, no matter how wise, no matter how intelligent, no matter how much knowledge, and we know she has all those things, she would not be here celebrating the way she's celebrating. And so we come tonight and tomorrow, and we did this morning, Arunma, not just to celebrate you. We do celebrate you. But tonight we celebrate the one who has kept you, the one who has protected you, the one who has provided for you. There is an appellation that I detest and I abhor. It is when I hear people say, I am self-made. I wish I could take such people to a hospital, on a hospital visit with me, to see a very successful businessman who at the peak of his business success suffered a stroke. I wish I could take such people to see someone who spoke to me last night planning her birthday party, but by the next morning I received a call to say she had passed away. I wish I could take such people on some of the trips, some of the visits that I make. They would soon understand what the psalmist says in Psalm 14 verse 1, that the fool says in his heart there is no God. They would understand why it is important to Arunma that in celebrating her, we celebrate the God who made her. And so, Arunma, I know that you will never call yourself self-made. I know that in these days of branding, if we could put a brand on you, it will be made by God. And it is that God that we celebrate. And we must never forget that. As we eat and drink and dance, as we go with her to church tomorrow, as we celebrate with her, let's do what is most important to her. Let's join with her to thank that God who she acknowledged in the dark moments, she acknowledged in the difficult times, she acknowledged when a lot of people she trusted had let her down. And that God, Arunma, didn't let you down. And so today, we celebrate a Titan, we celebrate an Amazon, we celebrate a child of God, we celebrate someone that I am glad to boast in and boast of. They say success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan. Your life has many fathers, and we are proud to be associated with you. May God continue to grant you great success. This is not the end of a phase. It is the beginning of another. If your detractors think they have heard the last of you, I have news for them. They haven't seen anything yet. God bless you.